this is the Vortex Chicken, and welcome back to Explosive Bunnies. Today I will be showcasing some of the new items and balance changes in the Terraria 1.4.1 update. I do use an old computer, so there will be some lag. But if you like the video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to Explosive Bunnies for all kinds of awesome and sometimes laggy videos like this. And without further ado, let's get into it. So, as you can see, some of the things you might be able to see right off the bat that are new are the vanity set. There are actually 6 of these, and this one I like in particular, the TV headset. The image on the screen will change depending on the environment you're in. So that's a fun thing to play around with. All of these vanity sets can be crafted with pre-hard mode items. And now let's look into Chippy Gaming's second item, third thing in the game. The rainbow cursor. He has asked for this in multiple videos, and he also sent a post to Red, the developer of the game, about getting this in. And so, for multiple reasons, I love that this is in here. It's a pretty cool vanity accessory. It just makes your cursor switch through the colors of the rainbow. Now let's look at some armor. This is a new piece of armor. It's called the Flink's Fur Coat. It increases your max number of minions by 1, and it increases your minion damage by 5%. So it effectively more than doubles your damage in the very early game when you can only have 1 minion, by giving you a second minion. Okay, now let's look at the obsidian armor, which has had a buff. It does now require you to beat the Eater of Worlds or Brain of Cthulhu, as it uses shadow scales and or tissue samples in its crafting recipe. But you'll see it's got some pretty banger summon stats. And in my opinion, it's better than the B armor. The only benefit you would get from the B armor over this is 1 extra minion. But the damage increase from this, as well as like the whip perks, it's so monumental and awesome that I would use this over the B armor in my summoner playthrough. Next, let's look at the gladiator armor. Now, previous to 1.4, this was a terrible armor set. Nobody got it because it was just pointless. In 1.4, it got a buff that increased its defense, but it was still very rare, and it didn't have a set bonus, and it wasn't very good. Well, now its defense has been increased even more. Get out of the way, bunny slime. And it has a set bonus that grants immunity to knockback. It's the only item that you can get before the dungeon that allows you to be immune to knockback. And I'll actually show you this. If I take the helmet off, turn the statue on, I can get knocked around. If I put the helmet on, I can't. It's pretty cool. Alright, now get out of the way, you thing. This lag is terrible, but I love it. And then also the gladiator armor has a fairly well increased drop rate. I think it's a 1 in 7 chance instead of 1 in 20, and that's pretty big. Now the cactus armor. Now this did see a nerf in 1.4. It dropped its defense by a little bit. But now, its set bonus, instead of 1 defense, is flat thorns. 15 in normal mode, 30 in expert mode, 45 in master mode. This is normal mode, so you'll see the blood zombie will take 15 damage, well, 11 damage because it has a little bit of defense. But, yeah, this is even better in expert and master mode, and I think cactus armor is now pretty good, despite the lack of defense. Alright, get out of the way. Get out of the way, blood zombie. Okay, I'm tired of you. Tired of you. There we go. Okay, now let's put our obsidian armor on because we'll be testing some summon gear. And let's look at the Band of Star Power and the Panic Necklace. They can now be crafted into each other using a life crystal and or a mana crystal. So you'll see what I mean in a second. They are crafted at a tinker's workshop in the graveyard biome. So let me just put these gravestones down until I get a little bit of ectomist, and then you'll see what I can craft. And there's the ectomist. So I'll go to the tinker's workshop, and you'll see I can now craft the Panic Necklace out of the Band of Star Power and a life crystal. Boom. And then if I put this in my inventory, I can craft the Band of Star Power out of a Panic Necklace and a mana crystal. So if you have excess life and mana crystals, I guess you could use this to farm for modifiers, but I just reforge it. But I would think the main purpose of this is just so that you can get the Band of Star Power in a Crimson world and the Panic Necklace in a Corruption world. Also, this is one of the TV things, the TV head. It shows a blank screen, a black screen, when you're in a graveyard, or the Corruption or the Crimson. So let me get these gravestones up, and then I will show you some more cool stuff. Alright, so the Titan Glove and the Feral Claws have had a little bit of a rework. The Titan Glove used to give all melee weapons and whips auto swing. This perk has been moved to the Feral Claws, so you'll see I can auto swing my whip with the Feral Claws. But if I put my Titan Glove on over it, you'll see I actually can't. Now with the Titan Glove has had to make up for the lack of auto swing is a size increase. So you'll see the whip is bigger than it was before. And now one more accessory is the Pygmy Necklace, which is actually, it hasn't been changed, except its accessibility. The Witch Doctor will sell it at any time, which is pretty darn cool. So you can have this for Skeletron and the Wall of Flesh if you've beaten Queen Bee. Now, there were a lot of balance changes, and I won't be going over them all. I'll just be going over the most important ones. And this one is certainly very important. The black spot is terrible, my friends. Look at this non-speed. This is not speed. I don't know what you could call this. You couldn't call it speed. This is not speed. This is a terrible mount relogic. Anyway, now I will be showcasing some of the new and reworked weapons. The Flink Staff. I have obsidian armor and a Pygmy Necklace, and let me just buff up. So now I should be able to summon a good few minions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that it? Can I summon a 6th? No, 5 is the limit. If there weren't lag, you'd be pretty amazed at how quickly these things attack. That didn't work. Yeah, attack this blood zombie. Obviously, they're not very good with all of the lag, but they're actually pretty decent without it. Now let's cancel all these buffs and showcase the Spinal Tap. This is the new whip that is crafted with bones and cobwebs. Same as Necro Armor. And it's meant to be your whip for the Wall of Flesh fight and for the dungeon, because sometimes the Snapthorn just isn't good enough for, you know, dungeon things. So this is really cool. Immortal Fire will be using this in his whip series, definitely. Now let's get to the Resonance Scepter. This is dropped by the Princess NPC, which is a new NPC. It's got a 1 in 8 chance to drop from her. The Princess will only spawn if you have all of the other NPCs except Santa and the pets in your world. And, well, the Resonance Scepter is actually pretty good for the time you can get it. You can get it for Gollum, Empress of Light. You could probably kill cultists with it too. And yeah, it's actually pretty fast without the lag. So I encourage you to test these things out on your own. Now the Bone Glove. You can see that I have bones. You can see that I have a Bone Glove. Why would I not be able to use the Bone Glove? Because it's not a weapon anymore. It's actually an accessory that does the same thing. Oh hey, we're in a town, so it has this TV thing. The Bone Glove is an accessory that does what it did as a weapon to enemies when you use any weapon, and it does not consume bones. So check that. It shoots a bone whenever you use any weapon. I think this is pretty sick. Now there is a full second cooldown or something, but it is really good. And now the Quadrill Shotgun is a new 1.4 weapon, if you consider 1.4 stuff new, and it was pretty darn overpowered if you could get every shot to hit. But I never really used it because it was super inaccurate, and now it's gotten a nerf on top of that. Its damage and speed have been reduced. You'll see 17 damage. Now the speed stat shown up there hasn't been reduced, but it's been reduced from 45 to 52 or something. And also it is locked behind Skeletron. And so to make up for this, I guess, Relogic made it fire 6 bullets. Yes, six bullets from 4 barrels. 6 bullets out of 4 barrels. Please explain. And you'll see it is still very inaccurate. It doesn't have an accuracy change or anything. So if I were you, I just wouldn't use this, because if you're thinking of other guns that are locked behind Skeletron, you've got the handgun, you've got the Phoenix Blaster, and heck, the boomstick, which you find in a chest, is better. So that'll be all for today, guys. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe, maybe. And I will see you in the next one. Oh, wait. Immortal Fire will be continuing his whip series. I will be starting my Calamity series very soon. And, you can expect some, should I say, guest videos. So just be looking out for those whenever they come out. So, see you in the next one, which will probably be episode 1 of Calamity. Sorry for the delay on getting this video out, and bye.